a hot summer day. So Chef Dev is back. This time you've got a gazpacho. Tell them what's in it, though.
Okay, so this is not your traditional tomato gazpacho. We are going to be using strawberries to make this gazpacho. It's a recipe I've been doing for several different years, and it's one I've been tweaking over the years just to get it right. First thing you're going to want to do for this, it's a strawberry gazpacho. It has kind of spiked cucumber, which is a fancy way of saying that it's pickled, and then a basil whipped cream.
All right.
So it's pretty basic. What we'll do is we'll get a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar with 2 tablespoons of water.
All right.
That's going to cut it down, and we're going to put about a tablespoon of sugar. Now, when you bring this to the boil, or you bring it to enough heat to let the sugar dissolve, you're essentially left with a pickling liquid. I heard you whispered.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
Right. He tests me all the time, and I always get it wrong.
You're essentially
a pickling liquid. And is there a reason why you used brown sugar instead of any other kind of sugar?
I much prefer brown sugar.
You enjoy your brown sugar.
Generally, in kitchens, you're using granulated. I just love the flavor of the cane. To be honest, that's why. But if you want to use white sugar at home, that's fine. It's really no big deal.
Okay.
I saw an opportunity there, so I jumped for it.
Go for it.
And then we have chopped cucumber. So I'm going to add in. We're going to add in all the cucumber. That's fine. And then you're going to want this. Once this comes to the boil, the cucumber goes in. And then you just let this sit in the fridge overnight. You'll see this one, like how much the color has changed.
And that's after it's sat in it.
Yeah, you see how it's kind of absorbed the liquid?
Yeah.
And it's kind of completely taken on that pickling liquid. And now when you put this in your mouth and bite into it, it's kind of like a sour explosion, which is incredible.
Yes, so
and
flavor.
Yeah, because you have that sweet strawberry, right?
Yeah.
To make the gazpacho, super simple.
Okay.
I'm going to take my blender here. I'm going to add in, this is a liter container of chopped strawberries.
Fresh strawberries.
Fresh strawberries.
They're going to make a difference.
Fresh chopped. We have a shallot over here. This I should have probably chopped at a time, but just rough chop your shallot. Again, you might be like, shallot? Why is this guy adding shallot in there? Why is he adding garlic? Because roasted garlic's going in there, but you don't want this to be sweet in the sense that it's a dessert. This is a savory dish, right?
Right.
And you want this to pop on a patio in the summer, or whenever you're really making it. So caramelized garlic, we're gonna add in a nice clove.
It does seem like a lot of conflicting flavors, but in the end, that's what you want.
It's next level, I promise you. We have cucumber peeled, because there's cucumber in the final product, so it's nice to add that in there. You don't want to add the peel, though, because it might change the color. And then I have white balsamic and lime juice. And all these exact measurements are online, okay?
Perfect. Cityline.ca for all of that.
And now what you do is you kind of cross your fingers and pray that this blends, okay? So I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to do it really quickly because I don't want to take up too much time. But remember, this is a good tip, especially if you work in a kitchen, which you probably don't. But make sure this is all the way down before you decorate the ceiling with strawberries, right?
This is a good tip.
Yeah. So let this go. Hand on top, rag on top.
Quickly.
So you want to take that for maybe about a minute or so.
Right.
And essentially, like, it'll get a lot smoother. Because see how clean this one is? That's really long. But I don't want to be blending the whole show.
I know. So the texture you're looking for when it comes to a gazpacho, you want it to be more on the thicker side. You'd
like it to be thicker. It's really up to you. I think depending on the weather, like for example, if it's a hot summer day, I think thicker would be a bit nicer.
Yeah.
You can also put this into shot glasses and pop it the same way. And this is so simple. I just put strawberries and a few ingredients in a blender.
Yes.
And then you just kind of pour it out into your ramekins. You can keep it rustic and thick like this too. Chunk of garlic. Who cares?
Yeah, that's okay.
You know, why not?
As long as you warn your guests.
Why not?
There might be a chunk of garlic in there.
Another thing I want to talk about too is the basil whipped cream.
Yes.
Someone commented back there how fast I was able to whip this cream. That's because if you keep your bowl and your whisk cold, also in an ice bath, well, once it sets in an ice bath, the colder everything is, the colder this will be able to whip. You can do this, you know, using a hand blender and stuff, but then that's no fun, right?
Okay.
So to get whipped cream, simply, I just kept it in that bowl. That bowl is almost melted, but it's still really cold. And then to this, all we're gonna do is add in our basil. So just get 2 of these monster dinosaur basil leaves that you have. And then just roll them up like a cigar.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I like to cut when they're that big, cut it in half. Always minimize your strokes if you can. And then you're just gonna chiffonade this. Take your time at home, watch what you're doing, and add this into your whipped cream. And essentially, you have basil whipped cream. So if you think basil whipped cream sounds fancy, it's whipped cream and basil. So it's really simple. To this, again, we're working with a savory dish. So like just a crack of salt, even a little bit of black pepper to get some white specks. Like I'm all about colors and textures and stuff. So to get some black specks into your whipped cream would look really cool. and then you just take enough for one person, and you put this on top.
A lot of everything mixed together, and that's
so
sort of
simple.
the secret of it. It's simple, but it's going to be huge on flavor, right?
It's so simple, it's so fun, and when you bring this out to your guests, like I encourage you to make this because when you eat it, it's just like, is this really happening? And that's what you want.